Hey everyone, today I've got a truly phenomenal scam for you, and I mean that. One of the most interesting cases I've come across in the last year. Easily. Maybe more, because I'm willing to bet most of you couldn't even picture that something like this could happen. For me, honestly, it was a real eye-opener. This is a scheme inside a scheme. Two scams in one story, wound so tightly together you can barely tell where one ends and the other begins, a Russian nesting doll. And there's a wild twist waiting for you in here. Maybe more than one. And here's the part that should get your attention. This doesn't just hit people trying to sell a car, it hits anyone careless enough to simply own one. Basically every driver watching this right now. So stick with me, I promise you won't regret it. Meet Vitaly. In Russia, he does what we'd call car flipping. He buys used cars and sells them on. He's got a website, listings on the local version of Craigslist, and people message him all day looking to sell a car fast, with no hassle. One day, a request comes in. They move the chat to WhatsApp. A man writes, "The family has a Hyundai Solaris. Great car, it's registered to his wife, and they need to sell it fast. Deal with me," he says. "My wife doesn't know anything about cars." But the wife will come to the actual sale, because on paper she's the owner for Vitaly. That's normal. He doesn't care who does the haggling. His rule is simple, the car has to be clean. Not stolen, not wrecked, not under any lien, and the real owner has to be there to sign. Everything checks out. On the agreed day, Marina shows up in a blue Solaris. And Vitaly does what he always does. He runs the car through every database there is. Paid reports, free reports, accident history, and most importantly, liens. Now, here's a difference worth remembering. In America, a lien is printed right on the car's title. In Russia, liens live in a separate national registry kept by notaries. Hold on to that detail, the whole story turns on it. Every database comes back clean, no liens. Vitaly looks the car over, values it around $9,000, and they settle on $7,000. He writes a bill of sale by hand, a copy for each of them. Both of them sign cash changes hands. He even drops Marina off at a store on her way out. The deal is smooth, not a single snag. And here's the first twist. Normally, Vitaly flips his cars, but this one he likes. He decides to keep it as a daily driver. So he puts the contract in his own name. The next day he goes to register the car, think of it like a trip to the DMV, and gets insurance. And right before he hands his papers through the window, out of old professional habits, he runs the car one more time, just to make sure nothing new has popped up. And he sees something he was not expecting. Yesterday, March 5th, at midday, no liens. Today, March 6th, the car is already under lien at Sovcombank, one of Russia's big banks. Somebody took out a loan against this car. Against the car Vitaly bought yesterday. The car he paid cash for, he calls Marina. She's blocked him. He texts, silence. He goes to his lawyer who tells him, take all your documents, go to the police, file a report while it's fresh. So Vitaly does exactly that. He files a report and drives home. And this is where the real scheme begins. 2-3 hours later, his phone rings. "Hello Vitaly, this is the police." He's relieved. "Any news on my report?" he asks. And they say no. First of all, it's not your report. Second, come in. And bring the car and the PTS. The PTS is the pass part of the vehicle. Think of it as an American car title, except it's a separate little booklet. Vitaly is confused. "I filed my report in another precinct, in another city. How did it end up with you?" They just say, "Come in, we'll talk." So he grabs his documents, gets in the car, and drives over. And when he gets there, they tell him a fraud report has been filed against you. A woman says you stole her car, that you're a fraudster, that you work as part of a ring. We'll most likely be detaining you. We'll seal the car, and we're deciding whether to open a criminal case against you. Vitaly is stunned. "This is a mistake," he says. "I'm the one who got scammed. She's the fraudster. She sold me a car that's now under lien. Let's drive to her place. I've got her address on the contract. And the officer says, no need to go anywhere. I'll call her myself. She'll come in and you can ask her everything to her face. A little while later, Marina arrives and she tells a story that turns everything on its head. It turns out that same morning, she'd walked into a police station and announced I was part of a special operation to catch scammers. A police officer was giving me instructions by phone. They promised to return my car, give me my car back. The duty officer had no idea what she was talking about and asked her to put it in writing. So she wrote it all down. A week earlier, she'd gotten a call. They said they were the police. They said an operation was underway to catch fraudsters and that she, as a law-abiding citizen, had a duty to help. This is the scam we'd call a fake law enforcement scam. You're helping us catch the bad guys, except they didn't run her for an hour or two. They ran her for a week. Over that week, on their instructions, she took out loans at 2 different banks. She transferred all the money to the police. And then it was the car's turn. The instructions were, go to Sovcombank and apply for a loan using your own car as collateral. In the morning, the bank inspects and values the car, and they tell her, step out for a bit, come back and sign the loan after lunch. And watch what happens in that window. While Marina is at the bank, the scammers, using fake requests to car buying services, are already lining up someone to offload the car to fast at a good price. They find Vitaly. So Marina, stepping out to run errands, sells him the car. She takes the cash, deposits it onto her card, and transfers it through an app to her operation handler. Then she goes back to Sovcombank, calmly signs the collateral loan, gets the money, and transfers that to the handler too. The next day, she walks into the police station to demand her car back, and what she hears is, there was no operation. We weren't catching anyone, you weren't part of anything, you were simply scammed. You're the victim. And it's with that report that they start dragging Vitaly in as a possible part of the scheme, even though he's a victim himself. Now look at how this splits apart. Vitaly's report sits in one city on a pre-investigation check. That's when the prosecutor is still deciding whether to open a case at all. Marina's report sits in the next city over, and there, a criminal case is already open with Vitaly essentially named as a suspect. But on the car itself, the fact is ironclad. At the moment of the sale, there was no lien, and that's provable to the minute. There's gas station CCTV of the buyer and seller meeting. There's phone billing data, there are timestamps for when Marina was at the bank and when she signed the loan, which means she sold the car to Vitaly first and only then put it up as collateral, a car that was no longer hers. Marina realizes Vitaly had nothing to do with it. He makes her a plain offer, give me back the $7,000 and take the car, or pay off the loan. I'm not out to sink you, but I'm not going down with you either. She hands the phone to her father, and her father gives his word, man to man, Vitaly, my daughter's in a bad spot. It's ugly, but within a month we'll close this out, I promise you. 5 days pass, Vitaly digs up the father's number himself and calls, and the father goes cold. Who is this? Don't call here again. Your problems are your problems. Then Marina's ex-husband gets in touch. His name is Nikolai, and he happens to deal in cars himself. He meets with Vitaly, plays sympathetic, but really he's fishing. So what steps are you planning to take? And at some point, he says it flat out. Nobody on our side is going to pay you anything. We're filing for bankruptcy, so swim on your own. And then Vitaly remembers something. He still has the chat with the scammers, half as a joke. He messages them, and the scammer answers. He gives advice, lean on them, make her buy the car back from you. Vitaly says they don't have any money, and here's where it gets cold. The scammer, supposedly a total stranger, comes back with, what do you mean no money? Her friend owes her $6,500, her father owns a construction company. They live in a 2-story house. How does a random phone scammer know about the friend, the father's company, the house? That chat is something the investigators are going to read very, very closely. Put it all together and you get at least 3 theories. And these aren't facts anymore, this is what the investigation still has to untangle. Theory 1, the official one. Phone scammers ran Marina for a week, drove her into a scheme inside a scheme, and stripped her of both the car and her money. She's a victim. Vitaly's a victim. Theory 2, there were no scammers at all. The whole thing was staged by two people, Marina and her ex-husband Nikolai, who deals in cars. And by the way, Vitaly sent over a video, that same Nikolai selling a Volkswagen Golf with no documents below market. In this version, they milked the banks, cashed out the car, blamed scammers, and are heading into bankruptcy. Theory 3, Marina really had nothing to do with it. But someone very close to her, the person you're probably already picturing, knowing her mind, her fears, how she folds under pressure, ran her for a week himself, posing as the scammer, for his own motives. And if it all came out, he could always say, "It was a prank, I was messing with you." And that uncanny knowledge, the house, the company, the friend, points right here. And soon a new player steps onto the field, Softcom Bank, the bank that issued the collateral loan. Its security department will almost certainly file its own fraud report, this time against Marina. And if that side thinks they can just declare bankruptcy and hide inside an iron dome, here's the thing to understand, bankruptcy in Russia, just like Chapter 7 here, does not erase criminal liability. And here's the part that affects every single person who buys a car. A real black hole just got exposed. In America, the lien is right there on the title. Buy a clean car, and it's clean. In Russia, between the moment the bank values the car and the moment the lien lands in the registry, there's a time gap. And you can slip right into that gap. You can buy a car that had no lien half an hour ago, and 2 hours later find out it's already collateral. And that you've become a figure in someone else's criminal case. The right fix would be for the bank to register the lien the instant it approves the loan, and to stop splitting the appraisal and the signing across time. As long as that gap exists, so does the window for scammers. This story isn't over. The investigation is ongoing, the bank is about to enter the game, and how it all ends, nobody knows yet. We're gonna make a part 2 and show you exactly how it plays out. Subscribe so you don't miss where this one lands.